Today in Can Haz Armory, as appropriate for a video recorded on Easter, the death and resurrection of the NEPS system. It ain't going anywhere. So originally, this video was going to be a simple reshoot of the NEPS update that I did a few years ago, and then I got some bad news and decided to have to reshoot it. Now, a little background here is I have been in contact with Ricardo, the gentleman out of Madrid who made these screws, since they came out. For some reason, they got a hold of me and asked me to evaluate the screws. I gave him some feedback. One first thing I told him was make the screws magnetizable because everybody has the driver and they need to stick to a screwdriver. He changed that. I'm not sure it was just me. Someone else may have said the same thing, but the fact that he listened to us and changed it to magnetizable. He sent me, I was one of the ones he sent the foil screws to evaluate, and also sent me the most recent update to the driver bit to evaluate, which has not hit the market yet. And I asked him about that about a year ago, and this is what happened. He said he's had to give up manufacturing the screws because it wasn't profitable anymore. It's a small item. Making screws that small with that kind of precision costs a lot of money, and he was losing money. He couldn't maintain it anymore. And I was and this video had actually been shot saying that NEPS we already knew either was going to go away because all the vendors had bought massive stocks. They had stuff in the pipeline. And then shortly a little while ago, I spoke to him again on email, and he said, I have a buyer. So he has somebody who bought everything, all the manufacturing all the tooling, the manufacturing, distribution, sales rights, the intellectual property, blah, blah, blah. This one company bought everything from him. So Ricardo no longer owns it. Unfortunately, while he did tell me who it is, I am sworn to secrecy until such time as it goes up in this company's catalog. Right now, they have placed an order to have stock, so when they can start selling it, they have sufficient inventory and stock. It's about 12 weeks manufacturing, 12 to 15 weeks manufacturing time, which means probably you're left with Summer Nationals. So probably by August, they'll release their catalog, and I can say who it is. So keep an eye in the comments, and when I can release the name, it'll be in the pinned comment at the top. Until now, I can't tell anybody. I might be the only person outside of Ricardo who knows who this company is, and I will honor the requests to not say anything. Suffice to say, though, it is a company that can definitely handle the manufacturing. So that being said, let's get to the evaluation. So a little background here. I first became aware of the NEPS screws when they first came out, when Ricardo, the gentleman from Madrid who came up with them, if I remember, I think he approached me, probably through the channel, and said, what do you think of these screws? And I looked at them. This is back when he had the first run of the driver bit, which was a simple piece of stamped sheet metal. And I like the screw. I like the idea. I definitely love the control you got off it. However, I told him they need to be magnetized, because people need to have your driver, and they got to have a screw that's going to hold on to the screw to get into position. So I don't know if it was me, myself, or somebody else said the same thing, but he changed the steel to be magnetizable, so he does listen. And there was that there. Over time, he changed the bit design and added foil screws and made a really good system. A few months ago, I asked him the status of the new driver bit. He'd sent me pictures of his latest driver design, the bit design, and then he said that they're not going to produce anymore. And what happened was he ran up against a financial wall. He couldn't make money at it. The cost to manufacture stuff that small, that precise, is pretty high, and so he simply couldn't produce them anymore. He was going to give up on it, so all the vendors bought all the stock. They had about 2 to 3 years of stock that he said in hand. I went and bought whatever I could. It was kind of when Leon Paul killed the bayonet socket. They all flew off the shelves. I know I bought the last of the foil screws off of his Amazon site, and now there's nothing left. And I thought that was it. I'd run this thing through. This earlier version of this video said I'd run it through and have to go back to the screws. NEPS, we hardly knew ye. And then we communicated again, and he said he had a buyer who purchased all the remaining stock, all the intellectual property rights, the manufacturing rights, the sales, distribution rights, the whole schmear in one big basket. And so Ricardo's out of it. However, while he did tell me who it was, and I may be the only person aside from Ricardo in this company who knows who it is, he asked me to keep it quiet until it hits this company's catalog, which I'm going to honor. I do know that this company put an order in for manufacture the parts, so they have a supply of inventory when they can release it, so they can support the worldwide sales. He said about 12 to 15 week manufacturing time, which puts us probably basically August is when we should see the catalog edition, at which time I can say who it is. So check back in around August, look in the comment section, and when I communicate what company it is, it will be in the comment section as a pinned comment. All I will say is that this company can definitely handle manufacture of these items. That's all I can say about it. That being said, to the actual evaluation we're going to give. So his Pro driver, it has changed a lot. It used to be a little plastic molded handle molded over a stamped bit of steel or kind of metal that held the screw on, but couldn't stand the difference of torquing, because I would put it on, crank it in there, start to snug it up. I'd grab a different screwdriver, tighten it up, I'd take it off. I'd pop it with a screwdriver, and then take the tool to take it off. He changed that to a flat version out of a different steel. I think it was milled out of a different steel. It held up very nicely. I have used that a lot. They didn't tend to break if you use them as much as I do. And then he came out with a new version that has a cone tip to the prongs to hold on. I'll show a picture of that right now. So there is the cone point. It's a bit stronger of a base, more meat to hold the thing together. It still fits on the same way. It's just a bit beefier of a bit to hold the screw on and maintain its own integrity. Here's a view from the side. So you can see, except for the addition of the cone structure, it hasn't really changed. It still does the same job. It works beautifully well. Took me a while to break one, actually. And he also put on the shaft a flat to catch the set screw, so it holds it in place better, because these will fall in if you push too hard. But that's what the changes he made, and it's pretty good improvements. He also added a flat, which I just mentioned, to hold on better. The other big change he made was how this is held in place. Now, he did have it held in place by a set screw, but that required a different tool to use, and it's another tool to carry. I suggested a knob, so we did this. Put a nice little knurled knob on. I can do it by hand, and if I undo it, boop, there goes the driver inside. And if I want to take it out, undo the driver bit, undo the knob, the thing rather, shake it, there it goes. It's out. Line the flat up. And they're ready to go. So that's the new driver. Can this new company improve it at all? Anything, can be improved. We'll see what happens. I can't think of any improvements at this point. I do love the screws, especially if my hands are shaking, I'm tired, my eyes aren't focusing, and I can't see the hole, especially if I'm putting a foil screw in. The tool is really good holding steady. I can slam a tip up, screw in really quickly. It has been a boon to me as an armorer. I know some other armorers don't like them. I love them. Ricardo, thank you very, very much for attempting it, for making it work, making the product available, listening to other armorers, making the improvements, blah, blah, blah. It's been a good product. I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm glad to see the product remain. Dude, you did good. Muy bueno. That's it for the NEPS screws. At least you didn't lose them. They're still here. Happy armoring.